Welcome to our weekly reading where we explore all things astrological. We hope you're doing really well and staying safe out there. From our two different points of view in two different locations in the world, we bring to you a unique astrological perspective on what is happening right now across the globe. So here we go. Hello, everybody. This is Diana in LA, and we've got Cary in the UK. And we're going to be today talking about the stars as they are in the sky right now, and how they affect you and how they affect us. We've just come out of this intense and beautiful full moon that just happened on Friday. In Los Angeles, it was at 12:12 noon in the daytime, and we had an amazing meditation here organizing the energies for this next cycle. Sagittarius full moon in the solar month of Gemini. And of course, this really affects our world. And it's about the dissemination of light and sharing this light into the world. The light that our hope, our faith, our remembering that all can be well, even in these very turbulent times. So that's where I'm going to let you take over, Cary. What has been going on in these interesting times?
It's not sunny London today, it's thunderstorms, lightning and rain. Which is just thought I'd give the contrast. It's been a very interesting start to the week. We talked last week about the Mars conjunct Neptune, and as Mars nears Neptune, planet of your dreams, Mars, action, war, demonstrating for your ideals. The demonstrations are right, but they're being hijacked. And that's where the violence comes from. It's the people who are demonstrating against the treatment of black people in the United States and in the UK. It's about non-violent protest, and it's been hijacked by divisive elements. And these divisive elements are very particular to this kind of transit.
And they're worldwide. The whole world is having demonstrations about our issue here in America. And I think that's just so amazing and powerful that this Mars conjunct Neptune, which fulfills at the end of the week, which is going to be increasing as the week goes on, this tension that around the world, not just in the US, this flashpoint is a teaching device for the world to open our eyes, to accept all cultures, to accept all peoples, all blessings to all beings, right? And this unique opportunity of this difficult transit is actually a healing.
Some good will come from this, but it'll be much further down the line. But it's very important what's happening at the moment astrologically. This all comes to a head this week on Saturday when there's a stellium in Pisces. So the Moon, Mars and Neptune will be conjunct each other, squaring the Sun. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens next Saturday, because this is the beginning of a new way of society operating, but it's just the beginning. And as we know, the future is magnified by the past. So the actions that take place today will be magnified further down the line. But the mixed messages that are taking place at the moment, this balance between the COVID and the demonstration, wanting to demonstrate, seem to be the wrong kind of behaviour for right now, especially when we're experiencing this transit. This is the transit of ideals, of fighting for your ideals. But you've also got to not fool yourself about the actuality of what is around you. And this COVID thing is huge.
Yes, so as we come to the end of the week and this increasing tension gets stronger, Mars, Neptune, the Moon, acting like a trigger a bit, there could be even more protests than we've been seeing. And so it is a clash between ideals. And these people's ideals and these people's ideals. But of course, everybody holds often different ideals. So much of this to me is about healing this in our world right now of the polarities. But right now we're in it. We're in the contrasting energy of the polarities. And so part of it is to get our own attention, I suppose, as a world. We're starting to see what we need to heal, which is this polarity. And that we forget that we're a one life, right? And so to me, this is a very exciting time, even though it's sort of a violent time by ideal, by communications, the way people are communicating about ideas. There's a lot of anger and suppressed energy that's coming up like a volcano. And here we are, Mars conjunct Neptune conjunct Moon. It is a war of ideals squaring the sun. So it's right in our face. So big times we're in. Meanwhile, there's the stellium in Capricorn as well. That's just been pulsing along for months and months and months and will continue to. And as that Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto still are pretty conjunct, Saturn is in Aquarius, but it's retrograding, still going back into Capricorn. The moon has also on the beginning of the week will be conjuncting that stellium. And so that will be a powerful righteous position where the moon hits those structures. The moon touches that Capricornian structure, so people are feeling upset. So in Los Angeles right now, there are lots of demonstrations, but they're very peaceful at the moment, at least today on Saturday. So hopefully they stay peaceful like that. But it's hard to say. If you look at the stars, it doesn't look like they're going to stay peaceful.
You know, I was interested in what happened the last time Neptune was in Pisces. Now, Neptune takes 165 years to orbit the Sun. So here's a few things which happened at that time. And I was interested, what was happening then which I could relate to now? The first thing that popped up was in Arizona, they passed a law that no black Americans could vote. Isn't that interesting? Now that happened as Mars was in Pisces, approaching Neptune. The other thing was that Britain and France declared war on China. That was the start of the Second Opium Wars. But one of the most important things that happened in that year was a certain gentleman called Abraham Lincoln got his seat in the Senate. And Abraham Lincoln, being one of the greatest presidents of the United States, he took his seat and he said, "A house divided against itself can't stand." And that's as relevant today as it was then. So in a time like this, where all these challenges are coming up and facing us, it can be the start of something wonderful. And look what Lincoln did for the United States of America.
Right, those are the great words to say, a house divided against itself cannot stand. How apropos is that to these times in this divided nation and this divided world? And so what I would suggest everyone for this week is to stay calm within yourself, to stay cool, to stay big-minded about everything that's happening, and to create harmony inside yourself. As you express that harmony out to your life, you add that harmony to some disharmony that's out there, so that we can bring a note of awareness and consciousness to this very changing world right now. And we shall see you next week. Saturday we'll be here again, and we will talk more about the stars.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good week.